Am I being detained or am I free to go? If you tell me I'm being detained, I'll give you ID. If I'm not, then I'm going to leave.
You're not leaving.
Okay. So, am I being detained? For suspicion? See,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are being detained for suspicious of terrorist activity for taking pictures of a public police department.
I didn't take
You were standing there either surveilling. You were either surveilling. Okay, look, I'm former
When was
military.
this?
I've done it myself.
When was this?
Okay, right over here.
So you're telling me I'm being suspected of terrorist? What now?
Yes, sir. For surveillance. Okay, at this particular
Based
point.
on what proof?
Based on this point, you were standing there.
You're harassing me.
I'm not harassing you.
I was reading my emails of jobs I just applied for.
With it this close to your face?
It's pretty bright out here.
This close to your face?
Have you developed an iPhone? Have you developed a phone that's brighter than this screen? Because I haven't. I was reading my emails and then you started harassing me.
Okay. That close to your face? I mean,
yeah.
Really? I mean, that's...
This is as bright.
Welcome back, everybody. As many of you guys know, I'm a law enforcement trainer and instructor. I train and instruct military and law enforcement all over the country on various law enforcement disciplines to include constitutional law, case law, patrol tactics, use of force, advanced criminal investigations, etc. And this video isn't really going to take long. As you can see here, you have two police officers that are threatening to arrest a man for recording in public. They are saying that he is guilty of, or they believe that he is conducting some kind of surveillance operation to do terrorism, and so that's a very large accusation to throw at somebody. And I can tell you that if it was me, and I was in this situation, again, this isn't legal advice; it's just telling you what I would do. This would be a situation where I'm 100% going to follow my template and be prepared to take the ride. 110%. For those of you that are not familiar with my template, I'm going to briefly go over it here with you and check back on some of my other videos that I've posted, because I've been talking about this in different contexts, because I think it's important. So the first thing we have to realize is, pursuant to Brown v. Texas 1979, the Supreme Court has affirmed that law enforcement needs reasonable or articulable suspicion in order to detain and compel someone to identify themselves. Cool, we got that out of the way. Now, if we look at my template here, this is what I'm going to utilize if I'm ever stopped by law enforcement. Now, if I'm stopped by law enforcement and they have unjustifiably detained me without reasonable or articulable suspicion, this is the template that I'm immediately going to jump into and use, because I want to do a couple things here. Right? I want to maximize my survivability. I want to maximize the assertion of my rights, and I want to maximize accountability for law enforcement. And so if you're going to threaten me with arrest and say that you're detaining me for terroristic threats or terrorism in some kind of way, again, it's a very large accusation to throw out without evidence. And if your only evidence is that I'm holding up a phone that everybody has, man, I'm willing and able to take that ride, because the accountability on that's going to be pretty freaking high. And so, again, I want to maximize survivability. My being detained pursuant to Brown v. Texas 1979. Of course. Cool. Well, I don't consent to any searches or seizures of my person pursuant to in accordance with United States v. Jones 2012. If you wish to violate my rights, I keep my wallet and my identification and my credentials in my back left pocket, back right pocket, wherever you keep it. Again, I don't consent to searches or seizures, but if you wish to violate my rights, that's where they're at, and I'm not going to impede you in violating my rights. I will not impede or fight you in any way in you violating my rights. 4, for your safety and my safety, I'm going to keep my hands interlaced on top of my head, and I'm going to leave them there until that encounter is over, 110%. And then 5, at this time, I will unambiguously invoke my Fifth Amendment rights pursuant to in accordance with Burgess v. Tompkins 2010. And that's it. Done. No more speaking. I don't want to speak to a supervisor. I don't want to talk to a supervisor. I don't need anybody else to come here roadside. I'm not going to talk. I am not going to give law enforcement any room, way, ability to articulate use of force pursuant to accordance with Conner v. Graham, Graham factors, use of force matrix. I'm not going to allow them to be able to articulate use of force, nor am I going to be able to articulate them prolonging the stop based upon my behest. And ways that law enforcement can do that are by you talking with them and by you requesting a supervisor. So There you go. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. What do you think if you're out in public and law enforcement stops you and starts saying that they are, attempting to threaten you with arrest for terroristic activities for simply holding a phone up? What would you guys do? Curious to know in the comment section below. As always, guys, long live the Republic.